All right, it's a very wonderful, beautiful good morning to you, beautiful listeners of Badegi Radio 90.1 FM, the People Station in the capital city of Mina. This is a beautiful Thursday morning, the 5th day in the month of March 2026. And right about now, studio time check is 4 minutes past the hour of 7 this beautiful morning. And it is time for that your wonderful and favorite breakfast show, that is the Global Review and issues in the news. Yes, I already have Mr. Apaya in the studio with me this morning. Already, good morning this morning, Mr. Apaya.
Good morning. Good morning, Billy. Good morning, beautiful listeners of Badegi. Thank you. Good morning once again, beautiful listeners of Badegi Radio. Thank you for always saying right with us.
All right. Good morning this morning. So, listeners, real quick, in case you don't know, today there is going to be a protest down to the AEDC office. So, and the meeting point is at Tunga roundabout by 8 a.m. this morning. So from there we are going to be proceeding down to the AEDC office right here in the capital city. So do make sure, if you are not happy with the way the light is going in this town, do make sure you are there so that you can make your grievances heard at the same time. Also, Mr. Paya, while we are talking about light, it goes concurrently with water. And we got a video where the former governor himself was telling the water board that the generators should be constantly running to provide water to the good people of Mina, Niger State. But since when that particular statement of the government went out, we haven't seen any increase, we haven't seen any betterment of the water supply in the state capital. And it begs to question, why would the governor give a standing order and some people will feel like as if they would not follow that order? For crying out loud.
It's so unfortunate. I think Baba is stepping in this Yes, let's play the video first time.
Which video?
Baba, the governor said they should give us water, they should on generators and give us water. No, but Baba, why would some people?
Excuse me, Baba, leave the governor alone. Has the governor just woken up to go to water board? All these years since he came, has he been to the water board? For 2.5 years that the governor came, has he been to water board? Did he just wake up to go to water board? Is it not what we are telling him that the problem at the water board is virtually administrative?
Of course, yes, of course.
Did he now realize that it's administrative? Did he just wake up that it's administrative? Can't he turn his office to water board? Park. Go to water board and sleep there. But like the commander-in-chief of Niger State.
You talk about sabotaging.
Whatever they are sabotaging, he should go and hang around there. So we are not playing any video. Did governor pay you to advertise that he has been to water board?
No.
Let him repair Radio Niger.
She can.
And I'm ready to help him to repair Radio Niger. We like him. That's why we are telling him the blunt truth. Kache, kubar generator, about the aiki. Didn't we tell you we can run that place? I will run water board from here if I want to. Give me water board to run. Baike sugar banka say bashi mina to Suleja Bago. Give me Shaibu by the water board to run for you. I don't have degree in hydrology, but have the will and determination of Aliyah Hussein. I'm a Shia.
Yeah, Hussein.
I would share. I will use my Shia belief, and the water must come out of that place. Please keep your video to yourself. The day I will pay you to advertise for him, you can play his video. But for now, let Bago play his own game.
Well, we'll not play video, but there was one thing very important. You know, we informed them that there is a generator that was purchased by Abu Sadiq Sani Bello that has never been put to use. When the governor went there and saw it, he said, where is this? We've put diesel. Make sure this is running. Make sure.
Apaya.
Yes, sir.
Chikalele zoinsan zana sona bewawa. O wonu pe? Chikalele zoinsan zana masona bewawa. Wo wonu pe wo? Do you hear no pay? Person way closer, I say they sleep, and you don't sleep, and you won't wake up. Don't you be fool?
Nah, you, because you refuse to wake.
Is governor just waking up to realize that he has a responsibility, and you carry the emir along? What would the emir do for you?
I mean that thing now.
Now F layout.
Even the chairman, the
F layout.
The commissioner
now F layout.
I mean that thing.
Now F layout agenda.
mina
last tracker flyover
duka cikin mina ne yayi
a fa
Duka
ku
cikin
je
yanayi.
ku roki Allah ya gafarce ku
to mu yan mina kenan
wallahi ku roki Allah gafara
ta mun ga mu
kun ci amanan mu
dama ga watan azumi ne zamu yi
kun ci amanan mu kun wahalar da mu an ba ku kun ci amanan mu kun ci amanan talakawa kaga ruwan da ke fitowa daga bokiti da yake tiktok yake yawo
yayi kuwa
Ha, ba sedimentation ne babu alum ne babu soda ashi ne nawa ne akwatin chlorine container nawa ne alum aiza gari ko kuma gudaji alum comes in two form akwai garin shi akwai gudajin shi kuma chlorine come in form of a gas kuma it comes in form of powder gas irin cooking gas tanker irin kasan abin na gas chlorine comes in that form too what does it cost no bani jisu an akwai problem na technology there call Julius Berger or call Bywater Shalabia. Their office is in outskirts of Suleja on Kaduna Road. They have more knowledge of that place than anybody in Niger State. Call Sani Danusa, he know more about that place. When the chemist, me ake sunan shi, when the most basara ke yanzu ya retire, somebody chemist, Ndagi, call him. Bago, you have to coordinate with people. Wannan harka na gwamnati ba private venture ka bane, ba aikin gidan ka bane, aikin al'umma ne, kuma dole ka yi da mutane, kuma dole ka yi da mu. Ba yanda za ka yi, sai ka yi da mu.
tunda Allah ya ba mu
Don mu muna nan
Ya
we
ba
are
mu
stakeholders, sai ka yi da mu, in ka ki yi da mu, ka kwashi abin ka a hannu. Zero. You wander in the for how many years they say you wandered?
Inside the wilderness.
How many years according to
The Bible?
Bible? How many years did you wander in the wilderness? Call me go
yes.
to the Bible.
Yes.
Ni ba zan ja maka haya Qur'ani yanzu ba. Kada mu zama nan alkalin Zaria. Kada zo a cire mana license.
a ce ba license
Revoke the license.
saboda mun ji aya
Don mun ja aya.
mun ci Allah ya ci annabi ya ce
Don ba son musulunci.
December mutum da ce yana yaki ma addini
Ya baya son musulunci.
zai son musulunci
Baya son
ni
musulunci.
baba I told you about Sheikh what do you call it
Jingir.
Jingir so many people have challenged me say whatever you want to say you understand nobody have monopoly over ilimi you understand Jingir da ya ce yana ma addinin aiki ya ce musulunci
Don an taba mai gidan
an
shi.
taba gullo so it's not
Ba
about Islam
Goodluck ba, an
Mai
taba
so,
Tinubu.
Tinubu so it's not all about Islam it's about Tinubu mutum ya zo ya ce Allah ya ce annabi ya ce ya yi rantsuwa kuma backing it up with the verse from the Holy Quran you suspended him because you have said something that provoked your paid master and that is why I say ni jingi ni I doubt it sir.
Abin da alkali ya ce.
Eh.
Ya ce ina manyan zamfara. Abin da ya ce kenan. Ina manya ana ta yanka mutane ana ta kashe mutane abin da ya ce kenan. Akwai wani ya yi zagi.
Ita kuma ina Tinubu yake mun zaɓe ka mun wa'azi mun yi hawa mambari mun kira mun ja
ya ce amanan su.
ka ci musulmi an baka mulkin kuma
Ka ce amana.
ana kashe mu ka
To,
ci
ina
amana
1.5 trillion of 2025 capital budget.
No case, Baba. No
it
case.
legal?
No explanation.
Ba
No
kudin,
case. No
wa ya dauka?
explanation.
Nobody.
The woman that's supposed to account for it an cire ta an mai da ita another
Budget and
ministry
planning,
aka
yes.
dauko waladele wanda iya karya to massage the ego.
the man who have the capacity to turn black to white
To ina za mu ina accountability sannan ina ya rufayi kun bar shi a kulle ina malami kun kulle su a faya ka shirya mu ma za a kulle mu.
baka ga abin da ke faruwa a Iran yanzu gaba because of that principle of martyrdom
Ya Hussein, Ya Ali.
Daman rayuwanka is for the nation. It's for the religion that kake karewa. So man kama ka an kashe ka baka da kwana asara. Daman that is where you are being created. Allah ya ce wa man kalakal jinn wal ins illa liyabudun. The purpose of creation, you human and jinn, is to worship God. So an kashe ka in the act of worship, me aka yi ai daman on the track. And that is what the Iranians are standing for. And I tell you, if you want to make a comparative analysis with what's happening in Nigeria, El-Rufai is another Ayatollah Khamenei of Nigeria. Because the more you incarcerate him, the more you are making him more popular, the more you are making people to have acceptance. Look at what the ICPC did. Shamelessly, they came and lied. Despite the fact that they took over police job, they took over DSS job, they have no business with what they are doing. They've even jettisoned their real team because they could not find anything incriminating against El-Rufai. For 2 years they've been following him and nothing to incriminate him. Look at what they are saying now, computers, tapping devices and whatever. And the son, who is a federal lawmaker in the country, said it is a shame that ICPC could lie to him, that he is in the present, in his presence, that they discover all this thing. At the end of the day, he said only laptop and old phones, that this is the only
Listen
thing.
to this. Listen to this.
We're there with you, Baba.
Don't understand. Labbaika ya Hussein. And that's what the Americans don't understand. Steve Witkoff, he does an interview and he's like, I don't understand. And Trump doesn't understand. We're frustrated. We're curious. Why don't these Iranians just surrender? With all our military power, our air force, our army, we don't understand why they don't quit. It's because they don't understand what Shias are. We are the sons of Fatima. We were born and raised at the feet of Imam al-Hussein, whether you're religious or not. But if you're Shia, your whole life you grew up learning about struggle, learning about revolution and rebellion, learning about fighting the oppressor and the tyrants and the king. That's the Shia culture. It's a culture of being the outcast, standing against the establishment, standing against Epstein. Operation Epstein is what's underway. And the Iranians are the one fighting this Epstein class. I mean, if you're comfortable bombing children, you don't think you're gonna be comfortable abusing children? Trump, in this attack on Iran, not only betrayed his own MAGA movement, but betrayed the American people in general. But to feed his curiosity as to why him and Steve Witkoff don't understand why these Shias just don't surrender, I'm gonna share an answer with you. It's that answer of that Sayyid from Lebanon, who they needed 80 tons of bombs to silence his voice, but since then his voice has only gotten louder. He says these Americans don't understand what Labbaika ya Hussein means. He comes out and he says Labbaika ya Hussein means that a mother pushes her son in towards the battle, and when her son is martyred and his head is decapitated and thrown at her feet, she picks up the head of her son and she puts that head in her laps and she wipes the face of her son and she says, oh my son, may Allah brighten your face in the same way you've brightened my face in front of Fatima. That's what Labbaika ya Hussein means. Labbaika ya Hussein means when Sayyidah Zainab sees her brother go into battle and loses her life for justice against the oppressors, and then she looks up into the heavens and she says, oh Allah, are you pleased? Are you pleased with this sacrifice? Take until you're pleased. That's what Labbaika ya Hussein means. Labbaika ya Hussein means you're willing to stand alone when the whole world has betrayed you and when the whole world accuses you. And that's exactly what's happened to Iran. The whole world has betrayed them. The whole world accuses them while they stand alone and stand for justice. While we have these cowardice Yazidi monarchs that have betrayed this ummah. May God curse every Yazid in this time, whether he lives in the White House or is one of those Gulf monarchs that have betrayed this ummah to be the puppets and the slaves of their American masters. That's what Labbaika ya Hussein means.
So, you know my problem. You know my problem. You know my problem. They never went to school. They don't have deep knowledge. They never read Orientals. They never read deep Islamic studies. They don't know who is Muawiyah. They don't know who is Yazidi. They don't know who is Fatima. They don't know who is Ali Talib. They don't know who is Hussein Hassan. They don't know. jahilai ba su yi karatu ba su da ilimi. So 90% waɗanda muke yi da su koma makaranta a baya. They should go and study Islam. Ka fahimce ni kuwa?
Sosai.
Ka gane?
Understand.
Yanzu maganan da muka yi mutane nawa suke da ilimin gane shi. Wanda ya riga ya sadakar da ran shi ga al'umman shi. Ka ce kuma kana yakan shi.
A lokacin da ya riga rantsuwa ya shirya ma duniya ko da ta juya mishi baya, he will stand alone.
He stand alone. And kuma yanzu aka fara yaki. The only thing that zai canja yanda yakin nuclear warhead. Kuma na gaya maka jiya. Israel zai wace, za su yi amfani da nuclear kuma za su yi mamaki. Domin nuclear na sauka a Tehran, nuclear zai sauka.
Yes.
Nuclear zai sauka a Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, all Haifa, all the location of Israel will cease to exist on the map. And America zai yi kuri, China kuma zai gaya musu, you touch the nuclear button, we are sending the nuclear. Wannan karshen duniya ne. In baka tuba ba ka fara tuba, in ba ka sallah ka fara sallah, in ka tara hatsi a ɗakin ka baka ba mutane na azumi ba ka fitar ka yi zakka,
in ba ka zuwa coci
in ba ka zuwa coci ka fara zuwa coci, in ba ka biya zakka ka fara biya zakka. An baka sukari trailer ne ka je ka rabar kar ka sayar, an baka dawa ne trailer ka rabar kar ka sayar, an baka wake trailer ka rabar kar ka sayar, don duniya ya zo karshe. Armageddon.
Baba ka yi magana. I think it's important that we bring yesterday we had an interview with one and only General Absalom, the father of democracy, and this thing you are talking about, ya yi magana akan wannan abun, which is very very important. Ya magana akan wannan rabo da kake misali, ya ce masu shi su dinga bayarwa saboda mutane su amfana, kuma ya yi magana akan kuma zaman lafiya, which is very very important. Kasan we are going into election.
Thank you very much for أعوذ بالله من
Thank
you very much for ask me to send my Ramadan greetings. First, I want to wish all Muslims, and indeed the whole world, peace, so that we need peace before we can even do fasting. Now, as we are doing fasting, we have reached the middle of the fasting, and we, after the fasting, please let us revive the ethics that we have learned during Ramadan. We should be each other's keeper. We know we are now in a difficult situation. The economy is biting, but Alhamdulillah, so far so good. Those who are endowed are helping the needy, so we should continue with that. Well, thank you very much for asking me to make a little bit of input into the election, the politicking going into the country. My advice to the politicians, please don't make promises that you cannot fulfill, because once you make promises, you will be accountable to those promises. And please talk to your followers. There should be peace. There shouldn't be a politics of bitterness. We should be each other's keeper. And for the electorate, please don't sell your vote. Your vote is very important. It is even haram to sell your vote. I listened to one madam during his sermon. He said that selling our votes is haram. So please, I want to urge all voters to maintain their dignity and not sell their votes. And for the politicians, please allow peace to reign. No politics without, do politics without bitterness. Thank you.
All right, that's very good. His Excellency, one and only
father of democracy,
who had opportunity to stay put and left
for the peace,
for the stability and continuity of Nigeria. He had the opportunity to hang around, but he said, I'm just a midwife. Let me midwife democracy, and he handed over. And Allah now going back to issues that are troubling us. If you can't Niger, there's a theater of absurd. Let's go back to campus, Boso campus conflict.
Niger State government has the right of occupancy of that property. It doesn't belong to FUT. They don't have a certificate. Again, Niger State government graciously gave them another 11,000 hectares of land where they are doing their permanent site, and they don't have the certificate. It's Niger State certificate. So I don't see why he's thinking that we are forcefully collecting. There's no any force in this. It's an understanding, and it's an aggrandizement. You know, how would you have moved from a temporary site back to a permanent site, and you are still holding on to the temporary site, you know, against the wish of other people? It's not nice. It was a gentleman agreement that, okay, it was a school. It was a school. It's a state-owned school that we vacated and gave it to this university to start a temporary site over 30 years ago. I spoke to the Minister of Education on this issue, and I told him, we had discussed, and he asked us to go ahead and start running our program.
So, Apaya,
yes, sir.
I'm not a lawyer. Ibele,
Baba.
what did the land law say?
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Before that, there's a document here from the Federal University of Technology
Go ahead, read
on the
it.
status of Boso campus. It says the Federal University of Technology, Mina, was established in 1983 by the federal government of Nigeria. At inception, the university commenced academic activities at the former Government Teachers College, Mina. The property was formally acquired from the Niger State government on a permanent basis, and the sum of 2.8 million naira was duly paid as compensation to the state government. The transaction was concluded as an outright acquisition and not a lease agreement. Recent correspondence from the Niger State government indicated intention to take over the Boso campus on the claim that the land was leased and that the university has relocated to its Gidankwanu site is therefore inconsistent with the historical and legal position of the property. The federal government Teachers College, Mina, was permanently acquired by the federal government for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Mina, and there is no record of lease documentation, tenancy agreement, or temporary transfer arrangement. The payment of compensation signified transfer of ownership interest to federal government for the university's use. This claim that the land was leased is therefore factually and legally incorrect. Now, the subsequent investment and expansion by the university, remodeling and reconstruction, acquisition of additional lands.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Don't jump.
It's for the remodeling and reconstruction, complete remodeling and rehabilitation of all inherited government teachers college structures, construction of numerous new academic.
What did you put there? Tell us what you get to. Tell us. The people wants to know the remodeling, the construction, the upgrade of the place, the university campus. Tell us. I want to know.
All right. The construction of numerous new academic, administrative, and residential facilities. On the acquisition of additional lands, the university independently acquired and compensated private landowners for adjoining parcels, including lands from Dr. Michael O. Ike and Amajo Enterprises Nigeria Limited. Other individual landholders and their economic trees were compensated. In addition, the property of the Roman Catholic Church was acquired and compensated in the sum of 57,183.75 naira. These acquisitions expanded the Boso campus footprint to include Center for Preliminary and Extramural Studies (CPES), University Staff School, Catholic Chaplaincy, Chapel of Grace, Center for Disaster Risk Management and Development Studies (ETC). These lands were not part of the original Teachers College property, but were separately purchased and paid for by the university. Present use and strategic importance of Boso campus. The Boso campus is not abandoned nor left fallow. It remains an active and strategic component of the university system, which currently houses School of Science and Technology Education, Center for Disaster Risk Management and Development Studies, Centers for Human Settlement and Urban Development, Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, Center for Preliminary and Extramural Studies, laboratories, lecture theaters, workshops, etc., the University Staff School, University Model Secondary School, University Health Services, among others. Under the provisions of the Land Use Act, all land in a state is vested in the governor in trust for the people. However, land validly acquired and vested in the federal government or its agency for public purposes remains under federal control. A state government does not possess unilateral authority to revoke or repossess land belonging to a federal government institution without due constitutional process and overriding public interest consistent with federal supremacy. The Boso campus, having been permanently acquired and vested in the federal government for the use of the Federal University of Technology Minna, falls under this protection. Now, historical record council documentation. The minutes of the second council meeting of the university held on 27 September 1983 clearly states that the pioneer vice chancellor formally briefed members of council in the acquisition of the former teachers college from the Niger State government, including the payment of compensation. The documentary evidence further affirms the acquisition was completed, compensation made, and the property formed part of the foundational assets of the university. The report of the federal government visitation panel for the period of 1999 to 2003 also confirmed that the teachers college was acquired on permanent basis. Council records and the visitation panel reports constitute official institutional documentation and reinforce the university's ownership claim. Now, financial and public investment considerations. But I think let's go to the one you said we should check real quick. In the Nigerian context, the short answer is no. A state government generally cannot take back land owned by the federal government under the Land Use Act of 1978. Federal government lands are specifically protected from the control of state governors.
Read.
Legal protection of federal land, Section 49 exemption. This section of the Land Use Act states that the act does not affect any title of land held by the federal government or its agency. While state governor hold most land in trust, land already vested in the federal government remains strictly under the control of the president or a designated minister. Federal lands are not subject to the right of occupancy system managed by the state, meaning the governor cannot revoke a title they did not grant. Now, when conflicts arise, despite these legal protections, disputes do happen, often leading to Supreme Court battles. Says physical development control. The Supreme Court has ruled that while the federal government owns the land, state government have concurrent powers to legislate on urban and regional planning. A governor can only revoke land for overriding public interest, but this typically applies to private individuals or corporations, not the federal government. Now, there is an Anambra scenario where there have been ongoing legal battles between the federal government versus the governor of Anambra State, where states attempted to revoke federal land. These cases usually center on whether the land was still being used for a federal public purpose. And now, in the case of FUT, the university land is still being used for a federal government purpose. Now, if the federal government sells or transfer its land to a private individual, that land may lose its federal protection and become subject to state laws, including the requirement for a governor's certificate of occupancy, the CFO. Also, if the federal government acquires land for a specific project but never uses it, some legal arguments suggest the land could theoretically revert, though this is a highly contested area of law.
So, Apaya, is there add something? Do you have anything to add? Because we cannot exhaust our sahur on this.
We can.
The worst case scenario, let Bago go to court.
That's just it.
But to write letter, they said there was a letter from SSG threatening them that whatever happened to them, they will why should SSG write such a letter?
Baba, I was, I think was so abusing would be with the Protestants to be, if not, if you had come here this morning, I wanted to ask you one fundamental question. There is a tension in Niger State, or let's say, better still, there is a fracas between Niger State government and federal government. Police is a federal agent, and we know that the governor is fond of using security agents, federal agents to intimidate people. But that is intimidation. We can say that because we have faced that. This radio has faced intimidation using federal agent, but
the federal agent refused to obey.
They refused to obey because they knew law. So now that the governor is the chief security of the state and he used police and other security agents now, if the police
you have
are
a state-
asked
if
to
you
go
have
to
a-
FUT,
will they go?
will you go? If you go to FUT, who are you going to stand for? Is it the state government
Or federal
government? And you are doing that, then you are federal agent.
then that is the danger of state police.
Yes, of course. Because if there is a state police FUT today, it's gone. If the state police FUT is gone, so we want to know, because we want peace in Niger State.
Oga,
Who is the police going to stand for?
Oga Apaya.
Yes, sir.
Oga Apaya.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I see here?
No.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria has been dissolved. Yes.
But this is just
Because
a
do you know why? Did you see the letters written to the National Assembly by Ogbeomo something or Dudua that they want Western Nigeria to come back? The Western states
Yes,
to come back as they want Nigeria to become a confederal.
so that we can have a resource
So
control.
that they can have their resource control and so that they run their own affairs. And already a lot of money has been pumped to Western Nigeria on tribal basis.
Of course.
Do you see the danger I saw? They already have their constitution.
A lot of key sectors have been, moved to Lagos.
And already they have their constitution.
Yes. And even their anthem.
And their national anthem. I send it to you.
Yes.
Do you saw what? Do you see? Have you received it? Did you receive what I sent you?
Of course. If you
So look, let me. Okay, there was a student affairs. The students
had a public
had a
press conference.
Press conference, and
The issue is really gathering momentum.
the students have press conference, and our Zarabunu as normal. Do we use the students or do we use Zarabunu? I don't know which one I will use.
Let's have the students.
The Zarabunu have covered the same students, but let me not give Zarabunu a free advertisement.
Let's hear.
Akwai abin da za mu turancin da gwamnati suka fi ganewa shine a jiya ta zanga-zanga. Amma mu za mu je mu zanga-zanga. Shugabannin makarantu da ke jihar Neja wanda suka tare nan sama, sai shugaban ɗalibai na tsagin NANS a Neja, 'yan wana ɗalibai. Akwai abin da za mu turancin da gwamnati suka fi ganewa shine a jiya ta zanga-zanga. Amma mu za mu je mu zanga-zanga. Shugabannin makarantu da ke jihar Neja wanda suka tare nan sama, sai shugaban ɗalibai na tsagin NANS a Neja, 'yan wana ɗalibai, 'yan jarida, ina muku gaisuwa irin tamu ta aluta. A sunana Husaini Jamilu Ebo, cikin yadda Allah, ni ne shugaban ɗalibai na Arewa maso tsakiya, kuma ni ɗalibi ne a Federal University of Technology Mina. Ina karanta a harkar tsare-tsaren gidaje da filaye, sannan kuma ina shekara na 4 kenan yanzu insha Allah. Abin da ya sa muka kira taron manema labarai shine mun tashi muka ga cewa gwamnatin jihar Neja tana yunkurin kwace wani fanni na Federal University of Technology wanda ke Bosho Campus, cewa haya da aka dauka a shekarun baya, na ga wurin shekara 40 kenan yanzu, wai hayan ya riga da ya kare kuma a tashi suna son su yi amfani da wurin. Kuma ɗalibai ne mu, mun san doka, mun san mai doka ya tanada, mun san cewa idan za a hassasa kowane gini, inda wannan gini kuma na federal government ne, babu shakka gwamnatin jiha su suke ba da fili, suke cewa a je wuri kaza a ji a yi wannan gini. An kuma doka ya ce idan har aka ba da wannan fili aka yi wannan gini, automatically wannan fili ya zama kayan federal government. Kundin tsarin doka na filaye Land Use Act of 1978 ya ce gwamna ba su da dama ko ba su da ƙarfi su karɓi fili ko gidaje a hannun gwamnatin tarayya, saboda gwamnatin tarayya ita ce gaba ɗaya, gaba gadi kenan. Sannan kuma irin wannan abu ya faru a shekara ta 2003 a Lagos, wanda kwamishina na shari'a da kuma minista na shari'a na birnin tarayya aka sami irin wannan a tsaniya. Shine Supreme Court ta ce, that's kotu kolu kenan, ta ce babu inda aka ce idan gwamnatin jiha ta ba da fili a gina makarantu na gwamnatin tarayya ta dawo kuma ta ce za ta karɓi filin, babu, kuma dokan yana har yanzu nan. Akwai document kuma da ya ce da University National University Commission na ƙasa ta rubuta ma dukkan makarantu wanda suke mallakin gwamnatin tarayya cewa duk filin da gwamnatin jiha ta bada sabili da a gina makarantu na gwamnatin tarayya, so fa wannan fili fa ba za a dawo shi a basu ba, doka ya hana, kuma wannan dokan bai canza ba, yana har yanzu.
The student, that is a student. Now, Apaya, do you know Labour Party? There used to be one Apapa.
Lamidi
Apapa
as a chairman, and there used to be one Abure.
Julius.
Niger State has become Abure Apapa. Labour Party.
Factions.
Factions.
Two government hacks.
Now listen very carefully.
Yeah.
When His Excellency went to the water board, what did he see? He saw pumps, all working. And he saw the generator that Abu bought.
Very giant one.
But when the water came out, it was brown.
Brownish.
Okay. Did you give money to permanent secretary or to the GM water board to buy chemicals? Or your contractor for supply, did he bring in the goods given to him or he didn't?
Baba, I can swear with my life, if permanent secretary is giving money to buy water, he will definitely pump water.
Buy water.
Buy chemicals, they will pump and treat water. Now that they treating them, say, we wood IQ, wood engine. Answer what you call it?
Brown.
No, I'm back with the chemical. And that is why you see the permanent secretary was not to Patum. He was just standing, say, even if you're going to start everybody, nobody was Patum. So you can't give them, they can't give what they don't have.
All right.
So let's go. What is it?
No, Baba, the president approved 6 major road projects across Nigeria, and also the reapproval of the Abuja Suleja.
That is audio. Have they mobilized?
They said they retracted it from Salini and they are giving it back to the Chinese.
So why are they?
The Geoengineering Corporation.
Political campaign. Come on, that is fake news. If you give it to me, I'll mobilize Julius Berger. Because Salini belongs to Catholic Church. Do you know that? Do you know that? Salini belongs to Catholic Church.
Wow.
They caught me.
Okay.
So if you are taking it out of Salini and you are giving it to the Chinese, when are they going to mobilize? Can Chinese compete with even Julius Berger?
Not at all. You can't compare.
Or are you giving it to your friend that can bring concrete and say you are doing concrete road?
Or you are going to return it to Shaguri and Shaguri?
Or are you giving it back to Shaguri and Shaguri, who abandoned the job?
Chief contract abandoner.
That one, you are diverting me.
Right.
And don't divert me from reality of this morning. This morning, we woke up with a lot of missiles overnight scattering Iran and a lot of missiles overnight scattering Tel Aviv. And let's listen to international commentators on what's going on around the world. If you are going to do the road, if you don't do the road, road not the vote. Now those who follow the road will vote. Yes.
So it's not left to the people.
It's left to the people. It's not my business. I've told you I don't have even. Okay, I decided not to even have a voter's card. To maintain my neutrality. I don't have party. I don't have voter's card.
All right, he said if you don't vote, then you should not complain.
I'm not complaining. If you anybody who vote for whatever he has, when the consequences of vote arrives, let him just manage it.
How can you yourself by yourself
I will not vote.
Disenfranchise yourself.
Because it's better for me to do that so that I will have peace of mind, so that I will not have mental breakdown. I can't vote for a government that's so incompetent. I can't vote for a government that cannot deliver. I can't see how many people being killed in Katsina and Zamfara axis.
Even Bauchi
Here, they just imported the Fulani to go and teach Bala a lesson because he's too talkative. Let's kill his people. But how can whether you will now join them, if you don't join them, they will teach you a lesson.
Those that have joined, are they still not killing in their states?
Oh, I don't know.
Are they not getting
Are they not getting votes? Listen to this. It's better for you. Listen to this. It's better for you.
So, I see nothing good coming of this for us. I think Persia, though, will reemerge from this as a much stronger and more influential entity.
We say Israel may not survive. How would it go under, you think? Is it from the U.S. pulling out, or is it economic consequences from this war? People will simply flee, or do you see them being militarily defeated, or what is the path?
All of the above. I mean, just go back and listen to Mr. Netanyahu explain his so-called 7 fronts. That's not sustainable. Supposedly, the Israelis have now mobilized another 100,000 reservists. It'll be interesting to see how many of them show up for duty. There is talk in Israel about invading Lebanon to go after Hezbollah because you can't do everything from the air. At some point, Israel is going to end up exhausted and tapped out, much like Ukraine. Today, the question is not will Russia survive, it's whether or not Ukraine survives. What will it be? It certainly won't be what it was. So does that mean that Israel survives in some form? Maybe, but it won't be what it was or what it is today. These things depend on a number of things, but you've got to look at the trend lines. The trend lines right now are not favorable.
Well, what do you see now happening though over the days and weeks?
Well, if the Israelis decide to use a tactical nuclear weapon or any nuclear weapon with the goal of stopping Iran's relentless missile attacks, I think that will change the situation dramatically. I'm not sure Israel will survive it. The Russians, the Chinese at that point would definitely intervene and make it clear to us that if this is not stopped and continues, that they will actively join the fight against Israel and us. And remember, I don't think the Israelis are going to do something like this immediately. I'm forecasting that at some point the Israelis say, if Iran will not stop, we will launch a nuclear weapon. That's kind of what I think might happen. Well, we don't have any control over Israel. Israel controls us. That's very clear. So if we can't control Israel and Israel does this, then Russia and China intervene. Well, they would intervene at a point in time where we've exhausted our inventories.
A few days ago, the U.S. and Israel launched the
So it's obvious now Israel is not controlling America. And like what Baba said earlier on, if they dare use nuclear warheads on Iran, I think that's going to be the end of the war. The third war will start because definitely China and Russia will not sit back and allow them.
But wait, we have to educate our listeners. But I hope they will understand this English. Or this is advanced international affairs English. This is not type, copy and paste. There are some people who didn't go past, but they bought their certificates.
Thank God AI is there now. When they might give AI to interpret it to their own level.
A few days ago, the U.S. and Israel launched the most aggressive military operation in the Middle East since Iraq. And they killed the Ayatollah. I'm sure you heard, right? Well, the expectation was that the regime would just collapse, but it didn't. It consolidated, and it retaliated across 9 countries. A media commentator, Colonel Douglas McGregor, a decorated combat veteran, says that America is going to lose this war. He says we're overstretched, that our interceptor stocks are finite, and Iran is fighting for survival while we're fighting for leverage, and that a nation fighting for survival will absorb the punishment, but a nation fighting for influence won't. Then Jeffrey Sachs is calling it illegal. No imminent threat, and stated that the Pentagon told Congress there was no intelligence that Iran was about to attack us. And here's another narrative that's gaining traction. Iran is burning through its old missiles on purpose, depleting the Iron Dome, the Patriot, and the THAAD batteries. And once they're dry, the real weapons are going to come out. They're also saying our bases are destroyed. Well, that America's going Winchester, which means the U.S. is out of ammunition. It's also being said that Tel Aviv got hit with something that nobody's ever seen before, that Israelis are fleeing and Israel will go nuclear before it gets defeated. That's the narrative flooding your feed right now. Now, let's explain why most of it is wrong, and it's all based in real-time intel, by the way. Here's what's actually happening. The secret weapons claim, well, it's copy-pasted from the Russian playbook in Ukraine. Russia has held back fifth-generation systems. That's real. Iran has no such stockpile. They don't have a hidden tier. And after our strikes on their production and storage sites, they especially don't have them now. Our bases, shot at? Yes. Knocked out? No. Every base is operational still. Non-essential personnel are moved to the rear. That's standard force protection. Tragically, 6 Americans were killed, 18 wounded, and every loss is a tragedy. But our forward posture is intact. Are Russia and China helping Iran like it's being said? Well, they can say tough words on TV, but the airspace is closed, the land bridges are cut, the ports are inaccessible, and there is no logistical avenue for any support at all. None. It's not about willingness, it's physics and geography. The carrier groups will need resupply in about 2 weeks. That resupply is already moving. Planned for 90 days of sustained operations. Are certain air defense stocks a concern? Yes, but we're destroying the threats that require those defenses. Best defense is a good offense, and right now, offense is all that we're playing. So here's why McGregor gets it wrong. McGregor spent his career fighting under weak leadership with one hand tied behind his back.
He's now saying America is winning. So we are balancing the story. Now, his own idea is that America is getting it right. His own idea is that nothing comes into Iran. No support, no equipment. But Iran has not started using its actual advanced systems yet. Because they said they saw a weapon landing in Tehran that has never been seen before.
And you say they're not getting support. Iran, the way it's the build-up of the country is having a natural protection because it's
the geography.
The geography. Yes, so that one is enough. The only concern some of analysts are saying is that when the water, if the water gets tougher, the Iran fight and they decide to strike where they can get water. That's the only challenge they're going to have.
Drinking water.
Drinking water. But that is by the way. You don't know. They might have a plan because for them to have come this far, definitely they may be thinking all these things. They will cause all their teeth and all their eyes.
Listen to this analyst. We have different people from different angles looking at issues. So that
we now have final proof that Iran will retaliate with everything it has, and to hell with the consequences. Now that its new leaders have decided to close the Strait of Hormuz and set on fire any tanker that passes, they're not just blocking the route for 20% of the world's oil, they are cutting their own throats, because Iran depends on that waterway more than any other country. All of its oil exports go through the Strait of Hormuz. That's about 1.7 million barrels every day last year. But its new leaders no longer care about crippling their own economy. For the first time since Berlin in 1945, a country is being governed by men under a hail of bombs who know they might be killed at any moment. America and Israel have already dispatched Ayatollah Khamenei and a raft of his senior ministers and commanders. Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the late Ayatollah, who may inherit the post of supreme leader, knows that he could be next. So does General Vahidi, the new commander of the Revolutionary Guard. His predecessor and the one before that were both killed, so they have no reason for restraint, let alone compromise. From their perspective, firing missiles at all their Gulf neighbors and shutting down the Strait of Hormuz is a rational response. They will be hoping that mayhem on the energy markets might force Donald Trump to call off his campaign.
Okay. Mayhem. Donald Trump. Will Donald Trump call off his campaign?
Maybe not. But I think let's pick some few calls.
Have we gone so far?
Yes, Baba, it's already 7:52 already.
All right, sorry. we got carried away.
Yes, there are so much issues to discuss, but such little time.
Okay.
Yes, all right. So listeners, you can hit us up on the number 091 38579 On our Facebook page, we have Murdazimi saying, good morning, Mr. Good morning. Mr. Governor went to Waterboard a few days ago to shout at the staffs, but what I saw looks like a scripted comedy skit. You don't need to take this long to prove to people after several fruitless excuses. We don't need this caricature drama. Oga, please be truthful always. Thank you very much for that one.
So the visitation is a sketch. It's a video sketch. That's why I'm telling you. Say, is he just waking up?
Good morning this morning.
Yeah, this is Bala Mohammed from Kalkungumena.
Right.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy with the analysis Baba has been making all this while in the issue of Federal University of Technology, water supply, Mina, electricity, and whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to add to what Baba discussed in respect to this water board. A clear example that the state government has no capability, will not have the capability to use solar to power water supply in Mina. Bayero University, Kano, I remember some years ago, when the Rural Electrification Agency at the federal government installed power supply, panels to Bayero University that will supply energy to the entire university and the community. That thing did not last for 1 year. After a year, it has gone down. Because when it was installed, they have the university cut off from NEPA, from public power supply. And they managed just after 1 year, the second year, right now as I speak with you, that project is down. So I know the state government will not have the capability. So the government should just look inward, to look outward, bring more professionals to be able to do work on water supply in Mina. I don't think it's a rocket science.
Okay,
thank you very much. I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. I can testify to that fact. By the time I went to the side, I know the side.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Brian Sally says, good morning, Apaya, Captain Dogo and Baba. Black people cannot rule themselves because they don't have the brain and mental capacity to govern a society.
Who tell you?
We can rule ourselves, but our greed and primitivity.
Yes.
And I mean, get them, I go do them,
exactly.
chop alone.
He says,
now we go chop alone, now they kill us.
Yes. He says, give them guns, they will kill themselves. Give them power, they will steal all the government money. Give them independence and democracy, they will use it to promote tribalism, ethnicity, bigotry, hatred, killings, and wars. That's according to Peter William Bota. He says, can we prove him wrong? K. Jamaha. Hello, good morning this morning.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
This is Shaku. I'm calling from Paiko.
All right, Mr. Shaku, go ahead.
I think this issue of water in Mina and the light issue generally, is a copyright from the federal government where the ASO Villa has been, they've cut off from the national grid. But you see, Niger State will have advantage.
Yeah.
The comparative advantage is that we have 4 dams that gives light to the country. In the Niger Delta, I believe if it were in the Niger Delta, they would have said, look, why not give us one of these dams that will supply light to Niger State 24 hours. And then maybe it's an issue of sitting down with the stakeholders, the federal government, the AEDC, the GENCO, the TPCN, and say, okay, now, we as the Niger State government want to take one of the dams, either Shiruru or Zingiru. Now give it to us. All the royalties you are paying.
Okay.
In respect of maybe Shiruru or Zingiru, okay, take it away. Now, we will know how to do the sharing formula so that, we'll get the money, we'll be supplying the light to Niger State 24 hours, and if it is something we cannot use, it's over our use, we can say, okay, KB State or Kwara State
can give others. All right, thank you. But I think you are dreaming dreams, though.
No, this issue is set to that. There is a very easy way you can do this.
Yeah.
See, instead of all this, this is very easy to dedicate at least 420 megawatt to Niger State. You
don't need it.
It's too much.
You don't need 120 megawatt. Apparently, what you need is no more than 10 to 15 megawatt.
Yes.
And look, GE General Electric
Yes.
have gas plants. Each plant can give you from 10 to 25 megawatts. A single GE plant. Look for GE plant for me.
Right.
GE gas power plant.
We don't have time again.
No, you don't have time. Let's prove this people.
Yes.
25 megawatts GE plant.
Oh, let's see.
One GE plant, 25 megawatts.
All right.
GE.
You are damned by your dam, and
You are damned by your dam. You are disgraced by your dam, and you have nothing to show for it, and you don't have the leadership capacity to stand for your people.
If you
GE.
Yes. We have the GE's TM 2500 mobile power plant, which brings 25 megawatts of power to Yangon in 60 days.
That Yangon is
Myanmar.
Is in
Myanmar.
Is Bama.
Yes.
That Yangon is Rangoon. Read the story. Read the story.
Says GE announced today its TM 2500 mobile power plant first delivered 25 megawatt of power on 25th July for the Yangon region, 60 days from the time the order was placed. GE and its consortium partner Golden Grain Energy announced the handover of the 25 megawatt mobile gas turbine generator set to the Yangon regional government at a handover ceremony. Moving forward, the power plant will be managed and operated by the Electric Power Generation Enterprise of the Ministry of Electricity and Energy and the Yangon Electricity Supply Corporation. It will be used to provide fast power to areas hit hardest by blackouts and other emergencies. When it is operating at full capacity, it could produce enough equivalent electricity supply to power approximately 160,000 homes. The nationwide electricity peak load consumption today is at least 2,500 megawatts, and the Asian Development Bank anticipates this could rise to approximately 4,500 megawatts, with 50% to be used in Yangon to power Myanmar's largest industrial, commercial, and public sector district. Yes.
So, how much is it? Look for the price. What's the price tag?
Okay.
So that you comparatively look at it.
But if
keep quiet. Keep quiet. Money is our problem. When you misuse the money by misallocating the money for unnecessary project.
Yes, Baba, real quick, our time is up already. It's at between $9.9 million to $10.5 million.
Okay. 10 that is more than 10 billion.
Yes.
It's about 10 to 15 billion.
About our time is fast spent, and I think
10 billion. It's 10 billion.
And
therefore, how many billion did you borrow to do flyover?
Even your security.
All right, a very big thank you to everybody who has been with us this morning. Until we come again tomorrow. Baba, it's already 8 o'clock. We have to go.
Let the guy.
We have to go, Baba.
Apaya, you are sacked.
Apaya is no longer the CEO.
You are no longer the commander here.
Chief Operating Officer of Badegi Radio.
I'm appointing you.
Baba, dodge out. Baba, make I dodge out.
Ibile.
Say Baba. Say Baba.
I appoint you.
Say Baba.
With immediate effect.
When he's dodging bullets, when he's away from bullet in the battlefield.
Say Baba. Say Baba.
Ibile.
Say Baba. Say Baba.
You are hereby appointed.
Baba, I will make a do. Baba, ammunition. I.
Kind of the speed of
Baba, bulletproof. Baba, bulletproof.
Spirit in you.
Baba, the hypersonic missile. I.
You have the spirit of Matador in you that you can confront missile for the safety for survival of your people.
All right. So, Baba, what do you have for us, Baba, so that we can wrap it up?
So that we wrap it up.
Yes, real quick.
Let me give you this. That's my last.
All right.
Last raka.
Last raka. وألحقنا بهم وارزقنا الشهادة في سبيلك يا مولاي. الحمد لله الذي أكرم المستشهدين في سبيله. الحمد لله الذي رزقنا الشهادة في سبيله. الحمد لله الذي رزقنا الجهاد في سبيل الإسلام. Allahu Akbar.
All right, thank you. And that is all for now. Bye. Yes. All right, bye for now.